Welcome everybody. In today's video, we'll be learning about quadratic inequalities, which are basically quadratics except symbols, which are inequalities showing signs that are greater than, less than, or equal to. And at the end of each problem, we'll start graphing the answers we get. So for the first problem, we have x squared plus 3x is greater than 10. To solve this, we need to get all the numbers to one side and leave one side blank. So that basically means moving the 10 to this side. So that would be x squared plus 3x minus 10 is greater than 0 because we basically subtracted 10 from both sides here. Then we basically just normally factor. So to start off, the factors of 10 is 5 and 2 and 1 and 10. So 5 and 2 subtracted would make 3, so we would do x minus 2 times x plus 5 are greater than 0. Next, we would treat the greater than sign as an equal sign, so we would do x minus 2 is greater than 0 and x plus 5 is greater than 0. And when we move the numbers away, we get x is greater than 2 and x is less than negative 5. So these would be our answers for this problem. And to graph it, we would do so right here would be negative 5, and this would be 2, and that would be 1, that would be 0, negative 1, and so on. We would basically graph x being greater, and to basically graph it, we would just need to know that x is greater than negative 2. So we would do open circle and just draw an arrow showing that x is greater than negative 2. Or another way we could do it, or another answer would be x is less than negative 5 and x is less than 2, which means since it's already less than 2, it's going to be less than negative 5 already. So then we would do open circle right here and draw it this way. These are two different ways to solve the problems and two different answers for the problems. Next problem we have is going to be x squared minus 6x is greater than negative 9. So we start off by getting all the numbers to the same side. We would do x squared minus 6x plus 9 is greater than 0. And to solve this, we need to know factors of 9, which are 1, 9, 3, and 3. We're going to be using 3 and 3. And if we look at this right here, we notice that it's a perfect square. So that would mean x minus 3 times x minus 3 is greater than 0. And when we put it in this way, we get x minus 3 is greater than 0. We would get x is greater than 3 both times. Or we would get x is less than 3. So when we graph that, we put 3 right here. We would do open circle and draw a line for x is greater than 3. And open circle, draw a line this way for x is less than 3. Both of these are two different answers for the same problem. You can use either one because they both work. Next problem, we have negative x times x minus 14 is greater than 24. So first, we need a factor with PEMDAS. So we would do negative x squared plus 14x and move the 24 over to this side. So that would be minus 24 is greater than 0. We need to get rid of the negatives, so we'd multiply the whole side by negative. That would be x squared minus 14x plus 24 is greater than or less than 0, which is basically the same as negative 0. Next, we need a factor. For 24, we have 1 and 24, 2 and 12, 6 and 4, and 8 and 3. For this problem, our best bet is going to be 12 and 2. So since there's a negative right here, we know both equations are going to have negative in them. So that would be x minus 2 and x minus 12, which is greater than or less than 0. When we factor, we would get x minus 2 is greater than 0, x minus 12 is greater than or less than 0. We get x is greater than or less than 2, and x is greater than or less than 12. Or we can get x is less than or equal, greater than or equal to 2, and x is less than or equal to 12. And when we basically put this in a graph, we would just get 12 over here and 2 over here. We would draw a closed circle for x because it's greater than or less than, so it can be 12 too. And we would draw arrows going this side and this side for 12. And for 2, we would draw a closed circle, and we would draw any number going less than 2, so we would draw arrows that way, and any number greater than 2 could be the answer, so we would draw arrows this way. So basically, any number could work. Thank you guys for watching this week's video, and I hope you guys enjoyed. And if you want to stay tuned, make sure you leave a like and subscribe down below, and make sure to share this with everybody. Bye.